What if the fate of this Lakers season doesn't hinge solely on LeBron's legacy or AD's dominance, but on a series of calculated gambles, whispered trades, and unseen chess moves behind the scenes? What if every roster tweak right now carries the weight of an entire franchise's future where success and heartbreak hang by the most delicate threads of timing and trust? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. The last 24 hours, absolute chaos, moves flying faster than any offseason we've seen in a minute. The Lakers officially bringing in Marcus Smart, waving goodbye to both Shake Milton and, sadly, Jordan Goodwin. But hold up, don't let those waves fool you thinking that was the last shakeup. No, sir. The whispers have only just begun. This morning a storm of reports dropped, pointing to one name lurking on the Lakers' radar: Jrue Holiday, a former All-Star and still one of the NBA's premier lockdown defenders. Before we dive in, let's backtrack a bit, because here's what most folks missed in the shuffle. The Lakers had choices around Jordan. Goodwin, keep him, trade him, or waive him to open up salary cap avenues. They chose the last. That's huge because it signaled they're keeping their cards close, but aren't out of wiggle room. Yet no prized assets have been surrendered so far, and the trade door remains cracked wide. This is not the end. It feels like just the prelude to a bigger game, so the Lakers are hunting what exactly? A guard. Not just any guard, but a championship-caliber vet who can slide seamlessly alongside LeBron and the rising star, Luka Doncic. This is the kind of impact that can tilt the balance. That elusive missing piece of the puzzle, enter Jrue Holiday. Six-time NBA All-Defensive Team member, a beast on the perimeter, and despite creeping into his mid-30s, still a force to be reckoned with on both ends of the floor. But the catch? His contract, a whopping $30.4 million for the upcoming season alone, with 2 more years beyond that, including a player option. This ain't a cheap addition. Yet the truth, harsh as it sounds, is that if he helps push the Lakers over that elusive championship precipice, then money pales in comparison, because playing defense around LeBron and Luka, alongside someone like Marcus Smart, that's a blueprint for an ironclad team. Imagine a starting lineup where defense bites wherever the ball goes. A unit that grinds opponents down and sparks transition points with lethal efficiency. Last year in Boston, Holiday averaged 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal a game, all while being a defensive nightmare for whoever he matched up against. He's not just a name, he's a potential game changer. The plot thickens when we consider the Lakers' still intact assets. Think their 2031 first-round pick, a 2030 second-rounder, pick swaps, plus young players like Dalton Connect, Gabe Vincent, and Maxi Kleber. The front office ain't out of chips to play here. If there's pressure, the kind that gnaws at you when you're balancing salary cap gymnastics, draft futures, and the hunger to build something meaningful. Right now, Rob Pelinka's moves lately haven't just been reactions. This feels strategic. Reports suggest the Lakers didn't want to part with assets easily, holding out for the right vehicle, and that right vehicle might be scampering just over the horizon. But what about the Trail Blazers? Portland only just traded Anthony Simons straight up for Holiday, and their commitment to keeping or trading Holiday remains murky. Do they see him as a veteran anchor, or is he expendable to them just as he became for Boston? And how much will they push for in return? The salary cap burden is real. Those $30 million plus 3 years is no small pill to swallow. Is the Lakers' willingness to weather that storm a gamble on a title run that will define this era, or a desperate shot in the dark? There's also the physical. The whispers of possible health concerns that shrunk Holiday's trade value last time around. Does that deter or motivate the Lakers? Is Pelinka's front office willing to risk that unknown for the potential payoff, knowing LeBron's championship window is closing? And then, the delicate matter of the starting lineup. Austin Reeves coming off a breakout campaign in Hungary, Jackson Hayes backing up at 5, and the possible shakeup that a trade for Holiday could cause. Do the Lakers slide Marcus Smart and Jrue Holiday into their defensive backcourt juggernaut, maybe pushing Reeves to a super weapon off the bench? Or will the balance shift in unexpected ways? This is about more than just players trading jerseys. It's about chemistry, culture, and legacy. There's even chatter surrounding Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, and recently waived Shake Milton, bundled with a future 2031 first-round pick, all dangled out there in potential packages involving Holiday and another name, Chris Murray, the layers of negotiation feel like a high-stakes poker game everyone's watching, but no one fully understands yet. Can the Lakers make salaries work? Yes, but it will take finesse. Perhaps clever maneuvering with how they package assets like Dalton Connect and utilize expiring contracts on the books. The Blazers, on the other side, might see value in adding that young controllable shooter and connect to their shaken roster after losing Simons. Every move here isn't isolated. It ripples through multiple franchises' futures, and as fans, we sit on the edge of our seats, heart-pounding with every nugget of news, wondering if the franchise can thread this needle. So many questions hang in the air, heavy as the California heat. Will Pelinka finally pull the trigger on the deal that can vault the Lakers from hopeful contenders to bona fide champs? Or will this saga end in frustration? Another opportunity lost in the shifting tides of NBA business? As a lifelong Lakers fan, I can't help but feel that we stand at an inflection point, where years of loyalty and heartbreak meet a moment that could redefine everything. So is this the start of a new empire, or the beginning of our unraveling? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading everyone. Wake up, Lakers Nation. This isn't just another day on the docket. This is the day where our patience, our faith, and our collective heartbeat get put to the ultimate test. Because we're staring down a moment that could break us, remake us, or rewrite the very story of this franchise. You think this is just about bringing in Jrue Holiday to shore up the defense? Nah, this is bigger. This is about the heavy, bruised shoulders of LeBron James, still defying time, but painfully aware the clock's ticking louder than ever. It's about Anthony Davis, the colossal, yet fragile titan whose health is as unpredictable as a summer thunderstorm, burdened now not just with carrying the Lakers' defense, but the soul of this entire team. It's about young guns like Austin Reeves, grinding silently, caught in the pressure cooker of expectation as he fights for his identity and minutes, knowing every possession might define his Lakers legacy when the spotlight swings to him in a few years. And then here's where it gets even more layered. What happens with Bronny? The pressure on his shoulders isn't just personal or familial anymore. This is legacy layered on legacy, a dynasty's future in flux as the front office scrambles to put the best pieces on the board around the King's twilight. Because let's be real, every move now can either cement LeBron's place as the ultimate Laker legend, or stoke the fires of what ifs the way the post-Kobe years did before this current renaissance. But speaking of rebirth and downfall, don't forget the ghosts of the past haunting every deal Pelinka strikes. Remember the Showtime Lakers who danced their way to 5 titles, fueled by fast breaks and flair. We've come a long way, but with that, the game changed. The 2000s three-peat, the Big Three era magic forged through grit, star power, and an unyielding will balanced with savvy front office moves. Then the bitter taste of the post-Kobe rebuilding years, and the agonizing patience we endured, hoping for a breakthrough that felt always just out of reach. Until 2020, when amid a global pandemic and isolation bubbles, the Lakers roared back to life, capturing the title and reminding the league why purple and gold is a color that never fades. But now, after the bubble parade and the immediate post-title decline, we're at a crossroads that feels all too familiar yet dangerously unfamiliar. The Blazers, the Warriors, Denver, Phoenix, the Clippers, they're all watching, breathing down our necks. The Warriors aren't just standing by. They've regrouped, recalibrated with smart youth and veteran savvy. Denver's relentless in sizing up their roster, ready to pounce on any Lakers misstep. Phoenix's young core is hungry, cocky, ready to seize the Western throne. The Clippers, always lurking, always aggressive. This is their time to shine. If we falter, but imagine the ripple this Lakers gamble could unleash, a defensive juggernaut built around LeBron. Add Holiday and Smart, a lineup so suffocating opponents choke on their own crosses. A team with the resilience of the 80s Lakers full-court press defense and the 2010s Lakers relentless attack. But what if Holiday's health falters? What if his hefty contract handcuffs us when LeBron's old gears start creaking louder? What if the chemistry doesn't gel, that fragile, invisible bond that turns a group of stars into a legendary squad? And what if Jeanie Buss's steady hand on the throttle faces disruption? The whispers about Pacific Division billionaires sniffing around the franchise aren't just rumors, they're tectonic shifts, waiting to fracture the Lakers' microcosm of power. A billionaire owner comes in, promising golden promises, but what price would he demand? Change in personnel, management upheaval, a shakedown of culture that fans cherish yet fear. The Lakers have always been more than just a team. They're a living, breathing symbol stitched into the very fabric of Los Angeles. This franchise's scars run deep from the heartbreak of losing Magic and Kobe at a time when the future seemed uncertain, to the ecstatic high of championship parades that painted the city purple and gold, and now, in the silence between seasons, in the spaces where whispers of trades and rumors swirl, the Lakers' soul is up for grabs again. At the heart of it all is LeBron still chasing that last title, driven not just by glory, but by the weight of legacy. His best years measured not just by stats, but by the battles he's led, the old guard past, the new generation rising, and the delicate, almost sacred balance of being the elder statesman and still the engine of this kingdom. But what if this holiday trade, this calculated poker move, is the final piece that pushes them over? What if the defense clamps down so hard that the West quakes? Imagine the arenas, from San Francisco to Denver to Phoenix, silent under the weight of Lakers. Defense, imagine the chant of defense, defense, echoing through Crypto.com. A modern-day echo of the Showtime Lakers' thunderous fast breaks morphing into suffocating shutdowns. That's the vision, but imagine instead if this gambit misfires. The chemistry crumbles, the stars burn out, and suddenly we're left clutching at fragments again. The Lakers haven't just made a bet on Holiday. They've made a bet on timing, health, trust, and a calculated risk that the past can be recaptured, not the magic of one player, but the collective spirit of a team reassembled on the edge of greatness. So what about the bench, the young guns like Dalton Connect, Gabe Vincent, and Maxi Kleber, the unsung groundwork that could blossom into crucial role players? Or just leaves wasted potential? What happens to Reeves if Holiday slides into the starting lineup? Does he become the secret weapon off the pine, embodying the hungry underdog spirit that this city reveres? Or does the shuffle fracture the locker room, exposing fissures in a team built on brotherhood as much as ability? And we are hardly talking just on-court battles here. This is culture, identity, the core of what makes the Lakers not just a franchise but a family, because every trade, every contract, every whisper behind closed doors ricochets through the halls of Lakers history, echoing old wounds and new hopes. From Jerry West's blueprints to Magic's smile that lit Staples Center, to Kobe's relentless will burned into every inch of that hardwood, to LeBron's sprawling narrative still writing itself game by game, the legacy we chase is a sprawling saga, and this offseason might just be its most pivotal chapter yet. Now imagine the Western Conference gasping at this move. Here's a team assembling a defensive wall literally no one saw coming. Warriors recalculating their strategy. Nuggets scrambling for answers without Nikola Jokic 100%. Suns staring down a new purple and gold beast, forcing them to reconsider their star-studded roster. Clippers caught in a purgatory of what-ifs and next moves, wondering if the Lakers just blindsided them with timing and strategy. That's the kind of shift that could redefine the entire balance of power in the West for years. But again, what if the health concerns around Holiday and AD become a nightmarish double whammy? What if the salary cap restrictions hobble the Lakers' ability to sign depth role players? What if the chemistry cracks? Then what? These questions aren't just for the execs and aired in press conferences. They're in every fan's gut, every street corner debate, every bar argument, that desperate tension of hope mixed with skepticism. The same tension that made us all once nearly lose faith after the post-Kobe fade, only to reignite in 2020. So yeah, this isn't just about bringing in one high-profile guard. It's about resurrecting a legacy at a time when that legacy feels both fragile and fierce. It's about balancing the present moment against the cruel weight of what could slip away. If we blinked along, the Lakers are standing on a razor's edge between reclamation and decline, and in the next few weeks, we'll see if Pelinka's front office can play this like the chess masters we need, or if this narrative ends with another season washed away by what might have been. As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming: a turbulent, fiery summer filled with jaw-dropping trades and gambles that could either crown this team king of the West or send us spiraling into another rebuilding abyss. The drama isn't just in the games anymore, it's in every headline, every rumor, every contract number that gets whispered in confidential rooms. Now, I want to hear it from you. Drop your Raws take below. Every true believer in purple and gold, what's on your mind? Are we witnessing the birth of a new dynasty? Or are we staring down the last shreds of a fading empire? Tell me, Lakers Nation, what's your gut screaming right now?